morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever in the world you are. I am in Mbaban, Eswatini. Eswatini is formerly known as Swaziland. And today I will again be speaking to Ms. Sue Tiong. So please, Sue, just please introduce yourself for those who don't know you so that they know what you do.
So I'm Sue Tiong. Okay, so it's always been my pleasure to know Celeste and to speak with her. Okay, we met in a women's circle, so we have some common things there. We are passionate about everything about women and children, and also the world in general. Okay, I'm a businesswoman, and I'm very passionate about movements in the world to save the children, save the women, save the earth, and all that stuff. Okay, so yeah, I am an adoptive mother to two beautiful children, and also I adopt my dogs. Okay, I'm a fur mom as well. So I believe in sustainability, and also I believe that love is enough to make the world go round. Back to you. Back to you.
Okay, thanks, Sue. Right. Yes, and I like speaking to Sue because sometimes we have opposing views on things, but Sue is the type of woman who's not afraid to speak up and speak out. Uh, and because this is what I am trying to advocate is that if you have something to say, it doesn't matter how dumb it may sound, you have to say it because you have to express yourself. And people who know me, they know I am all about expressing yourself. Okay, so to give some backstory on what we're going to talk about today, there's this incident that occurred in Malaysia where a professor, Professor Dr. Muhaya Mohamad. Now let me read. So this was what was printed online about the issue. So there was backlash online because she released a video. So I'm reading now. The eye doctor and motivational speaker said that women should act dumb because men prefer more docile partners with lots of estrogen. That the Professor Dr. Muhaya Mohamad has deleted a video of her advising women that they should act dumb in order to find a spouse after receiving backlash on social media. Malay Mail reported yesterday, 9th of June, that the eye specialist and motivational speaker deleted the controversial video titled Why Women Are Slow to Get Married. Now, that's probably a direct translation from Malay because that's very bad English there. But anyway, Muhaya, who often uploads videos related to medical and religious advice, said, women should appreciate men for their strength. They are the leaders. Don't try too hard to liberate and compete with men. If you are busy trying to do what men do, your testosterone levels will increase, and women who are not married will find it difficult to find a husband. She said this in the now deleted 56-second long video. She said that women with high testosterone levels are goal-driven and who want to achieve independence will most likely have a tough time attracting a male suitor. Men like women who are gentle, high in estrogen, expecting, and need help, which is women who act dumb. That's fine, she added. The doctor ended the video, which its reshared version has 1.5 million views on Twitter, like wow, by saying, women who are slow to get married, pay attention to what kind of character you have. So Mohaya's video also implied the belief that women should celebrate male leadership and strength according to religious views. She made comments in the video highlighting that no matter how successful women are professionally, when it comes to religion, women are placed behind their male counterparts. All imams are men. Prophets were also men, she explained in her video. So she also says, let's say in the office, you have a general worker who's male and a female CEO. When you're praying, the man is still leading you no matter what. So after the publication of the controversial video, Netizens took to social media to share their disagreement towards Muhaya's remarks. Many women expressed their outrage online, saying they would never degrade themselves for the sake of men. So that's a long story. And Sue, you and I are going to have to dissect this whole thing now.
Okay.
Let's just give a general overview. You are a married woman. You are this woman she's talking about. Okay, you know, strong, educated, intelligent, you name it. Everything is like when I read this, I was just imagining you. Okay. So just in general, what is your perspective on what she's saying here? Just like in a nutshell.
First of all, I am not a Muslim. Okay, I'm a Malaysian, but I am not professing the religion of Islam. Okay, and Prof Muhaya is an Islamic speaker. Okay, so she will give a lot of nuggets of wisdom and also tips and also guidance through her social media. She's really very popular. She has more than 1 million followers. I'm not sure how many millions, okay, but she's definitely been there and doing all of this for a long, long time. And she has already formed a loyal following. Okay, so and then if we want to go into like the technicality of it, Islam in itself is an Abrahamic religion. Okay, so we're not going to go into a religious discourse or whatever, but it is an unspoken thing among us non-Muslims. Okay, that yes, we acknowledge there's Islam in this country. We also acknowledge that this is how they teach the females. Okay, and also this is also how like when they pray, the sons will be in front of the mother, the imam. He will be the leader, and the women, because of whatever restrictions that that is stated in books, okay, like they have like impure times when they need to rest and not perform the prayers. They cannot consistently pray and all that. So yeah, so there are reasons behind that. However, the human interpretation made it in such a way that man is superior than women. Okay? So that is one point that I don't agree, okay? Because even among my Muslim friends who are pretty modern and yet still very religious, they tell me there's no such thing that that God actually say that the man is superior than females, be protected and nurtured, okay? And it is the responsibility of the man to be responsible. Like the father is responsible for the daughter until she is married. And after that, she's the responsibility of the husband, and it is his responsibility to make sure she's protected, she's taken care of. And then what I learned from my Muslim friends is that the men are not supposed to treat the wife like a slave or even ask her to do any household chores, because the Prophet Muhammad himself did household chores and his wife did not even have to lift a finger. Okay, so this is how the things were just distorted by the man along the ages, and now we have this like translated versions or how people interpret it. So like from I need to protect you to you are my property, you have to listen to me. So what I feel is that what this her intention behind saying this, there is some wisdom behind it, because number one, I'm not saying all men, but most of the men would like to feel needed. Okay, so when you pretend, like at least you tone it down a little and you say, oh, I'm not so capable, change my tire, let's say, okay, but when I go back home, oh honey, I forgot to fill up my tank, can you please do it for me? So it's not like I'm not capable, but I want him to do something for me, so then he feel like, oh, I'm doing something for my wife, you know. So these are just the examples, and I have read a lot of comments under the thread as well when it was trending like some time back. So some of them are saying like, this is my wife does this, but somehow she dumbed it down and she left this small thing for me to do, and then she do this, and then she left this thing for me to do. Okay, it's like suddenly all the intelligence just zap out from her, and she asked me to do this thing. Wants him to participate in her life, to feel like he's involved, and I love her. So I was like, okay. So nobody is
Right.
degrading anyone, and nobody is saying that the moment you dumb it down, you're really dumb. So I feel that this is really blown out of proportion. Okay, there are so many other things that people can talk about, but they talk about this. So, so that's my take on this issue.
Yeah, I see. I see your point. I get your point, and yeah, it's some, like you said, they were making it. I feel like even just from reading the thread, the comments uh, that people made regarding this, I think that a lot of the people who were making it were not actually listening to what she was really saying or understanding. Because I had a totally different take on it when I looked at it, because like you said, this is a first of all, this is a first she's a Datuk, which means she has a title. She's also a professor, which means she is smart and intelligent. She's a doctor. So this is a woman that is in her own right very successful, definitely smart and intelligent. And I also think wise, because I can quite easily see that men would be very intimidated by someone like her. Because what can they offer her? She already has everything. And just looking at her picture, she's quite attractive. She's well dressed. She's well groomed. She's very feminine. Like she has it all. Like I think if I was a man, if I looked at that, like what more can I offer this woman? She has everything that it takes. So they would just move on to the next conquest. And so that's why when I read what she was saying, I was looking at it, at her, like, why is she saying this? And then my thing is, she's speaking from experience, because she probably lived this. She has probably been that woman where when she was younger and trying to find a suitor, it was very hard you know, because she's so smart and intelligent. Whatever men say, she can one up them. And why I can see where she's coming from is because this is exactly what happened to me when I was young. I know too much and want to express too much and want always argumentative, opinionated, especially when I'm with men, because they always think they know more, and then I have to one up, and it did cause a lot of problems when I was dating. I mean, I had men tell me to my face, you think you're too clever and blah 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 blah. Just go away, and then I'll see them walking around with some bumbo. I mean, when I say bumbo, I really mean bumbo, an airhead. There's like nothing in a head. But he chose her over me, you know. So that's the first thing I looked at when I saw what she was saying. And I honestly believe that a smart and intelligent woman knows when to act dumb. And this is what I think people were missing. Because the dumb woman is not going to know to act dumb because she is already dumb.
True.
But the intelligent woman, any bill that comes to my house, I don't see it. When my car alarm goes off at 4 o'clock in the morning, I totally don't know how to disarm it. So my husband has to go out downstairs, take the lift down to go and disarm it. When my car gets punctured on the side of the road, of course I know how to change a tire, but why should I when I can call him? Oh, I got stuck on the side of the road. I don't know how to change the tire, and he'll come and change it, or he'll call AA to come and help me. That's me acting dumb. And I mean, I didn't lose anything. Like when I see them saying, I'm not going to degrade myself by acting dumb. I don't see how that degrades you when you act dumb to achieve a goal that you have set out. You know, it's, I think it's being smart.
From the way I look at it from a business point of view, if you are a business owner, you are the CEO, Okay, or even if you're not a CEO, but you're middle level management, you are a manager. If you are a manager, you cannot expect yourself to spend all the time doing what your subordinate is supposed to do, or the delegation. So be smart, delegate whatever jobs that can be done. Okay, so if you got the means, you got a means, let them do it for you. You don't have to, inconvenience yourself or like to be a workaholic just to prove a point. Um, Nobody's going to give you a medal for doing everything and just being worn out. So the one thing about some younger women and even
Right,
some
right.
older women as well, some older women, they just grow very bitter and say that I've done so much and yet I'm not appreciated. But who asked you to do so much in the first place? So that is a whole different topic. But this resentment that is from work, the resentment that is from the um, at home, with relationships. So when you do so much, you're so capable. And then after that, you one day you wake up and say, why am I doing so much? What's the point? And then after that, you will want to leave the place. You want to leave the relationship because you felt like, I don't need these people. I don't need to be in this relationship. I don't need this job. I can just come out and do everything on my own. So like, and no man is an island. So no woman is an island too. So I feel that sometimes dumbing down, okay, the word dumbing down by on its own is quite direct, like looking down on the woman. So that's why some of them felt really hurt by that and
Yeah, it's
triggered by
traumatic.
that. Okay. But in the Malay language, Bodo Bodo, okay, the Malay language Bodo Bodo, the moment it
Mhm.
becomes Bodo Bodo, Bodo means stupid, okay? But the moment it becomes like a two word, Bodo Bodo, it means humility. Okay, it's a very beautiful
Border, border.
yeah, so
Uh-huh.
it means humility, to be humble. So so
Okay.
like oh no, I don't know this, can you teach me? But you know it already, you just want to give the other person face, because in the Asian
Humility.
culture,
Right.
face
Mm.
is a very
Mm.
important thing. Like when we say face, it's not the literal face, but the reputation of the person, the feelings of the other person, okay, to make that person
Right.
feel more than rather than less than. So it's a form of
Yes.
respect.
Yes.
So this is something very Asian. So if you take that out of the Asian context, of course it
Right.
will look like you are degrading yourself or whatever. But if you put it into the Asian culture, where this whole thing is
Right.
happening in the Asian culture, so this is actually a very smart move because that is EQ. So to be bodo bodo, to be humble, to be bashful is actually an EQ, and high EQ translate to intelligence. So I'm not saying that
Yes.
women should be stupid. I'm saying that women should be humble and be smart to carry herself in whatever situation she's in.
Right. Right. And I think this is exactly what this professor was getting at. It's just, I think I've told you this before. I don't know if it was in a podcast or maybe in private. I'm married to a Malay, and I have a lot of Malay friends, and I go to all these women's empowerment things. And in my company, we even have a whole Malay market. And I noticed the way Malay people, Malay women in particular, the way they speak is very simple. And if you don't understand them, you will really blow things out of proportion. Because I did that in the beginning when I first came to Malaysia. Because the way they would say things is just too simple. Like when you say the border, it's so simple, but it does, like you say, it doesn't mean be stupid. There's layers to it, and you have to understand the culture. But that is why I also find it strange that all the people who were unhappy with what she said were Malaysians. I'm a foreigner. I live in Malaysia, and I can understand the nuances in speech. When especially when it comes to the different races and cultures in Malaysia. That's why I was surprised that Malaysians themselves they didn't get it. You know. Okay, but what I want to do now is I want us to go paragraph by paragraph so that we can really dissect and put more meaning into or our interpretation in what she said. Are you up
Right.
for that?
Okay.
So the first one, it said that she said women should act dumb because men prefer more docile partners with lots of estrogen. So again, because I did not see the video, so I don't know if whether they have misinterpreted what she said. But I mean, like for me, men prefer more docile. I would say that is true in my experience. And docile does not necessarily, for me, mean something bad. And also the lots of estrogen, to me, that just means someone that's more feminine. And again, in my experience with men, that's also true. So in your experience, what do you say about that?
So I like to share a very personal experience. I used to, how should I put it? Okay, when I start to climb up the career ladder and ultimately opening up my own business, okay, I started to prefer wearing pants, like literally wearing pants, okay, because it's so convenient. I can sit however I want. I don't have to think of crossing my legs. Okay, it's so convenient, right? Wearing pants. Until one fine day, in some conversation that I had with a girlfriend, she said, "I haven't seen you worn a dress." So I was like, "Yeah, I haven't worn a dress in like forever after my wedding." So, so then I was like, "Okay." And after that, I got a few recommendations from women who had been there, like older than me. Sue, why not you start wearing pants? You stop wearing pants, like you lessen the frequency of you wearing pants and you wear more dresses. Because the way you dress will actually make you feel differently. Okay, like make you more feminine. So, so like, okay, so in a fast-paced world, in a business world where it's very fast-paced, very cutthroat sometimes, okay, a lot of testosterone is needed. You need that go, 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 go all the way, charge ahead. So that pumping up of the adrenaline, okay, so yeah, so I get it. Okay, you need that testosterone, you need that power to charge ahead. But this estrogen, on the other hand, makes you more nurturing, softer, more motherly. So I was like, oh, I don't want to be that slow. I want to be faster. So that is that thing that's going on, like in my subconscious. So then I took up their advice. I bought a few new dresses. Okay. So I wore the dress. And the first few times, my husband actually looked at me. So it's like, hey, he never looked at me.
Right.
So it feels good. It felt good, like, so because we have been married for a long time. Okay. So at that point, I think that we were married like 7, 8 years. Okay. And we already have a son then. So we just forgot to reconnect and just to dress up, to look nice, to be with, just to look our best, to impress each other. And this impressing is not so much like I want to show off, but it's like I appreciate you. I want you to appreciate me. I want to look good for you. And I also felt good doing that. So now my home clothes are skirts and dresses because it's so comfy. Okay. And with the Zoom, I don't have to go out there. I don't have to care to cross my leg or whatever. I can sit however way I want in front of the screen.
Yes, yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
But yes, coming back to this estrogen. Okay. So for me, it's just like you don't have to wear the pants all the time. Okay. And it's not saying that the more estrogen you have, the less testosterone you have, because these two hormones are inside of us all anytime, including everything else. Okay. So it's just saying that it's just her way of using the scientific term estrogen to say to be more ladylike. Okay, to behave more like a lady.
Yes, ladylike, yes, and feminine.
Yeah, elegant. Okay, to be seen as like more docile is one thing. Okay, but to be soft, to be softer instead of like a man.
Gentle, yeah.
And then you're not like hard. Okay, because another thing that I've gotten, one of the feedbacks I've gotten in my younger days was, Sue, why your tone is so hard on your husband? Okay, I used to be like that. Okay, yes, I was everything like that. So I would talk to him like I talk to my subordinate, like giving instructions. Okay, like you do this, you do that. But I didn't say like,
right.
oh, darling, can you do this for me, please? If I would cringe. at that. Okay, so now it's like that's my second nature.
Yeah,
But
no,
back
I
then,
get you.
back then
Right.
I couldn't. I'll say, can you do this, 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 this? It's like so like a boss. Okay, so so I brought
Yeah.
his like, work persona back home, and for the longest time he just kept quiet. You know, he whatever he was feeling, he did not express it to me, but I could see it on his face. So then after I, you know, everything starts from ourselves. So after I changed myself to be more feminine, okay, I like myself more, and he liked me more, like to interact with me more. He loves me, don't get me wrong, he loves me, but he liked me even more after that. And our relationship
Mm-mm-mm.
improved so much. I don't have to pretend that I don't know anything. Okay, I just have to tone it down. Okay, that because I was like on high, really high, too much force, too much power. So I brought it down, I toned it down, and I like it. It feels easier to breathe for everyone involved.
Right. No, I understand. Yeah, because you see, like for me, people see me, like friends, people outside, like because I'm very hard, I'm very manly. I mean, people think I'm a transgender person. They think I'm a man who had a sex change. But I've been with my husband for 32 years. And I've had people say to me, men especially, I don't know how your husband can be with you. You're so like a man and blah, blah. The thing is, they don't know when I'm with my husband, I am not like that. When I am with my husband, I am ultra feminine because that's what
Yeah,
he likes.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And
yes,
I mean, many people don't know this about me. This is actually the first time I'm saying it publicly. Many people don't know that. When I speak to my husband, I speak in a different tone. The way I touch him is different. I'm always very gentle with him. He, as far as I'm concerned, he's always right. I mean, he thinks he's always right. I just pretend I'm always right. It doesn't mean I agree, but I don't fight it, you know? Um, because like I said, a smart woman knows when to act dumb. And if I want to be in his life, and that's what the kind of woman he likes, to me, I don't feel there's anything wrong in me being that woman, because if I'm not that woman, he's just going to leave me for someone else. And also, if I don't want to be that kind of woman, then why do I want to be in a relationship with him? I might as well go and be with somebody else, right?
yeah, exactly.
It's choices.
Yes, and
Okay,
like,
so let's go to the next one.
okay.
Sorry, yeah.
You know, like what you said about other people looking in, and they see the persona that you give to the world, and they're judging and saying, how can your husband
Yes, they
just
don't know what goes on behind
yeah.
closed
So
doors.
I got that a lot too. And then there's a man who actually commented on my post saying that I really pity your husband.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I get all the time. And then when I go home and I tell my husband, oh, this guy said he really pities me. My husband's like really confused because he doesn't get it. He
Yeah,
doesn't
and then
get
I
it
get people
because
like I just met, and then they just judge me based on how I talk for like a few hours, and they say, who is your husband? I like to meet him. I want to see who can
mm, mm,
marry and live with this kind of woman. So I was like, well, he's not here. But
exactly,
I cannot
exactly.
understand that judgment
Story of
thing.
my life.
Like I cannot stand the judgment of others, like saying that a strong woman cannot get married. So it's like there's a perception there that we are just strong all the way. We are not multifaceted. We don't have like decisions. Like we cannot make
Yes,
our own decisions. We cannot change and adapt. So that I feel is very damaging as well. The judgment, and some of them are women who
yeah,
judge us. So it's like,
exactly. But that is why I wanted to make this video, because this is one voice speaking here. I mean, not her voice. Well, that's her voice, but when I'm reading the comments, it's all, there has to be another voice, because the comments are just like, this is wrong, this is wrong. So that is why I want to do this with you, so that you can see, no, there is ways to work around this, but she's not really wrong. It's just, as a woman, you must know how to work around it. Okay,
yeah,
but let me go to the next one. This one where she said, okay, we did talk about this. the video was deleted. Okay, so for me, the criticism I have for her is she should not have deleted the video. I feel she should have come out and not really defended, but made her point more clear. Like example, like we are doing now. She could easily have tried to interview other women or get a panel and sit around and let them discuss it, let them hash it out, you know? I think this move of hers is not showing that she's a strong woman and a leader. Because if you're a leader and you're going to put out something like this, like we are doing now, you put out something, you have to stand by it.
Well, Celeste, what I feel is that she must have been advised by her team to take it down, to let it cool off, you know, and then her business is also at stake. So so I feel from an economic point of view, she took it down to avoid the drama. And from what because I have been following her from on and off for the past, I would say 10 years. Okay. Even though I'm not a Muslim, but I follow all the female leaders in Malaysia. So I don't feel that she's the confrontational type. So yeah, so for her, that seems like her move, like how she would really handle it, and it would just cool off after this. She's too popular to be unpopular. This situation with that kind of angry mob that are coming down on her, I feel that the confrontational route will actually make it worse. It's like smearing that ink, trying to clean the ink from a white cloth, and the more you try to do it, the more it will be smeared. So yeah, so I just felt like it was the right move that she made. Okay, because this is just like a blip, and she can just chuck it aside.
Okay, so because I want to just elaborate on that. Yeah, I understand that it is very difficult for people when they have a business and they cannot totally express their ideas or their thoughts or their feelings because, you know, they might get cancelled or whatever. And that is why I can do what I'm doing now. I can say whatever I want to say. Doesn't matter how controversial it is. Doesn't matter how many people hate what I say or hate me or whatever. I can do that because I have nothing will happen to me. I mean, someone might want to kill me, but I don't think I'm saying anything that bad that they would want to kill me. But yes, too much. Yeah, and then
but she has built an empire. She has invested so much of the years. So yeah, so I felt that this was a very economical move, like a very wise move from an economic standpoint. Okay, but yeah, she's just allowing it to organically cool off. Okay, and there are two sides of the camp as
and hopefully she'll come back. Yeah. So hopefully she'll come back. But that's what I'm saying. That's why I feel there should be like more women around like me who we have nothing to lose, but who are willing to speak the truth, be sincere, and then stand up for these kind of women whose voices get silenced because they're in a position where they have to consider their future and stuff like that. You know, so this is the other thing I'm trying to do is to get more women. That's why with this video, I hope I can do that, especially women who are willing to do that, to see these things and then stand up for it. Because if there's not enough women standing up for certain things that are right, it's easy for things to just get pushed aside, or get bullied out of the public discourse.
Well, I feel that she is the bigger person here for walking out from head-on confrontation. Okay, it speaks volumes of her character. Like I've said my piece. So if you don't agree with it, then you can fight until the cows go home. I still have whatever that's working for me. And then her material, whatever she said, is actually
I also see that point.
It's an edited video. Yeah, it
yes,
is
it's
an edited video. It's an
yeah.
old video. It's not something new. So she has already been saying it like forever. So why should she stand up for something that she has been standing up for forever. So let them talk, let them fight, I will just do my stuff. So then, yeah, so I see that as very classy. Like you don't have to be engaged in that drama that's ongoing, and there's just so many people who are just bored out of their like bored to tears because they're stuck at home with the third MC, with the third lockdown in Malaysia now. So yeah, so it's actually very wise of her not to engage, because that's what the people want. They have so much frustration, they have so much anger, so why put herself out there to be bashed?
Yeah.
So I felt that not only from an
Yeah.
economic standpoint, but also her wisdom in tackling this. So it's exactly like in a marriage. If your husband wants to fight with you, you can choose to say, "I know I have my period now. I need to sleep."
Yeah. Yeah. It's just that I did the data collection on the feedback. The data shows that what she is saying is totally wrong. It's a high percentage. I don't have it here now. It was about, I think, 70 something percentage saying that everything she says is wrong. So this is what worries me when something like this, so this like her stepping away from it, because now the general consensus is, well, the majority of the consensus is that she is wrong.
Not sure where you
When
got the data from. Okay.
I do it myself because that's what I do. I have
Okay.
the software and
So,
everything
so
because
just to let
I
you
do
know,
this.
the first time this video, this viral video came to my knowledge is from the minority. Okay, so it is somebody who was
Okay.
explaining. So he was somebody who was explaining the meaning of bodo bodo. Okay, so it's somebody
Oh,
who said
okay.
that you don't know the old language, you don't know the beautiful poetic language of Malay. Bodo bodo means humility. So I was like, hey, what is all this thing? So that's when
Right.
I go deeper and I search more. So there are already people who are speaking on her behalf, like who stand on her side. But there are, of course, like
Right.
like bad news travels fast, and the people's emotions now are really negative.
Yes.
Okay, so that's why the herd, how should I put it? Like I would say that is the herd mentality all coming in and say, and they don't even watch the video, they don't even read the full article, and they just pick that line, women should be stupid. So that's how everybody's like, wow, how
Yes.
can you
Yes.
ask me to act down?
Yes.
So it's taken out of context and it's blown out of proportion. So I felt that that data is actually quite skewed because of the thing blowing out of proportion. But for people who actually took the time to go deeper into
Yeah,
this,
because I took this from Twitter because I do Twitter data collection. Like women from all over the world were discussing it, and
so
of
so
course
it's
they are
like,
all
because
anti
if
what
you
she
take
said.
the translated version, it has lost its essence. It has lost the
Yes,
beauty of the connotation of that. The bodo bodo means humility. So people take it like act dumb. Oh, I cannot act dumb. I cannot be dumb. I'm not dumb. I'm not bimbo. So of course they will be riled up because that is like bringing
yes,
people
yes,
back
yes.
50, 60 years. Okay, if you take it from that context, so that's the
Right.
problem with translation and intercultural differences. Okay, but I felt like this shouldn't be an issue. There are women, religious leaders or non-religious leaders alike in the Asian community who have spoken worse things, and that did not become viral. You know, so I felt like this is a very
Yes.
this is a very small issue that
Mhm, mhm.
people just take it out and just blow it out because there's nothing else to do.
Yeah, because okay, like for me also, I only really knew about it because I was in a woman's private group. This is international women. I don't think there are any Asians in that group. And then this article was shared, and then I had to go on Facebook to go and look. I saw it on Facebook. I saw some of the things, and then I had to go back to the group and then discuss there with them, and then did the the data collecting and stuff like that. That's how I knew about it. Otherwise, I probably would never have known about it. Anyway, that's how I get most of my things that I talk about is because I'm in all these little groups and about women's issues or gay or whatever issues, right? Okay, so this one here, then I want to go to the next one. Uh, yeah, the thing with the religion, you see this one when she said, Would you imply the belief that women should celebrate male leadership and strength according to religious views? Now, you see, I'm a follower of Christ. I'm actually a Christ Towers. So, for me, I don't have any issue with this whatsoever, because in my religion, the man is the head of the household. And as a woman, I have to submit to him. I am A-okay with that. So I don't find anything wrong with that. So this is why I don't understand that. I don't know about Islam, but I noticed even in the chat, even the Christian women were upset. So, like I say, which doesn't make sense, because that is in biblical scripture, that a man should have Christ as the head. Christ is the church, right? The head. And the man's head is covered by Christ, and the woman's head is covered by the husband. And men they have to walk the path, the right path. They have to walk Christ's path, and the woman has to submit to him when he's on the right path. Of course, if he's not on the right path, you don't have to submit. And like I say, I have nothing wrong with that, because I bow to God, So I don't know your view on that.
For me, it is all about ego. Okay, like when the ego comes in, saying that I will never ever submit or obey my man. Okay, so even in the traditional vows, the wife has to say you obey, right? So I'm not a Christian, okay, but I have been brought up in a very Catholic environment, having studied in that kind of environment. And I also, growing up in my pre-U time, I mingle a lot with Muslims, okay, and I learn a lot from their scriptures as well. I read their Quran, and then I also the translated version, and I also read the scriptures in Buddhism, and also some Hindu scriptures as well. So it all talk about men, okay. So all talk about men. So if we look at it from the very physiological, biologically how we are made, we are different. We can never be equals. Okay, now don't flame me. Whoever's going to listen to this, don't flame me. But that is a fact.
Biology.
They don't menstruate like us. They don't carry babies like us.
Yes.
They don't have boobs that produces milk like us. So these three things are totally different. Okay. And there's a reason why we are made that way. Okay. And I felt that is to give us respite, is to give us rest, so we can nurture ourselves and look pretty. Okay, I like it. I like to look at it that way. And the man is meant to work harder. So let them toil in the field. Let them do it. Don't let the women do it. It's like some cultures,
Yes. Yeah, because they have the physicality.
So, and I like the concept of like what I read from what my Muslim friends tell me. God loves you. That's why you have all these restrictions for you to not fast, for you not to go pray and all that things, because God loves you, protects you. God wants you to rest. Not that you're dirty or anything. Nobody says women are dirty. It's the interpretation of the later men. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So that is all man-made. So if you look at the beauty of like the acknowledgement of the differences between the sexes, I felt that it's very sacred. Number one. And number two, I felt like it's our birthright. So why not just let the man do the job? So I did not believe that at first, because of this feminism and being brainwashed when I was younger, saying that I have to do everything and so I've been there, done that. But I was like, at the end of the day, when I felt like so tired, I was like, who is to blame? It's me. It's my decision to do everything. It's my decision to be so capable and not even allowing anyone to help me.
Right.
And the man that is beside me is like just waiting for me to ask for help or just allow him to step in. So and then after that, that's when I felt I was dumb. so I mean, I'm not saying the women who are doing that is dumb. So I do see the point of submission, even in Buddhism. Okay, in the religious in the sangha, that means the community of monks and nuns. A nun who has been there since the beginning of the temple was built, okay, has to bow down, okay, even to a one-day-old monk, because
Okay.
That is stated in the scripture. There were many women who were very angry with this point because, like, how can you look down on us women? Okay, so when that was first decreed, okay, when that was first decreed by Lord Buddha, he said that I'm just quoting it, not ad verbatim, okay, but from what I understand is that the pride of women is very high. Our ego is high.
Right.
Okay, so it's to remind us, no matter how senior we are, no matter how much we know, no matter how good we feel we are, we still have to go down and bow and be humble.
Right.
Okay? Because only in humility, we can be closer to God, and we can be closer to the
Right.
flow of life. If we don't believe in God, then just we can be a better human being on this earth. When you're humble. So that took me a long while to
Yes.
come to terms with, because I was like, "Ugh," you know. So this is like bowing down to one day old
Yeah,
woman,
yeah, yeah.
just ordained. It's the same thing like a janitor,
Yes.
like her when she talked about the janitor leading the prayer, even though the janitor is leading the CEO. Okay, this
He's
is
a
the
man.
first thing that popped up to my
Yeah.
mind. So it's like age old, the pride. Okay, I'm not saying men don't have pride,
The
but
pride. Yes, it's
yeah. So humans have pride. So this is and humility doesn't mean weakness. Humility is strength.
right.
Yeah, it took me a while to
Yes.
get that. Okay, but after that, I appreciate that all these things, they are not there to restrict us. You
Grow. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and as you grow, then you feel like you're more open, and then things just fall into place. So I felt that, yeah, I'm not
Okay.
judging this as bad. Okay, if only people can cool down and look at the reason underneath it all, instead of just taking it as surface value
Yes.
and saying, oh, this is bad, this is like taking like 1,000 years
Right, right.
back.
Okay, let me just, I just want to elaborate on the submit part because I don't want people later to come back and say, oh, Celeste is talking the wrong thing about Christianity, blah, 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 blah. What it means in Christianity, it's like you said, it's the humility. So what happens in Christianity is we have to think of God's way of being like a highway. So there's the highway. The highway has rules that you have to obey. So your husband is there. He is on that highway moving on this path. So he has to obey all God's laws. And then you, the woman, are on the side. You want to come into the traffic. So, you get to that, the entrance to the highway, and then there's a yield sign because to submit means to yield. So that means to yield means to enter the flow. So your husband is traveling along this highway, which is God's highway. And then you, the wife, you submit, which means if you want to be with him, he's already on the right road. You yield. That means you come in next to him and then you'll move together towards God. That is what submit to your husband means. But if your husband is on that highway and he's going here, just dodging traffic and, like the motorbikes do, yeah, 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 how can you yield with him? How can you have a smooth flow when he's going like that? So you don't yield. So okay, but it's not obeying. It means yielding, submitting. So I just want to clear that up because I don't want people later to get all upset with me. But that is why I say I don't mind that, because I don't mind if my husband is following the right path. I want to be with him on that path. So I don't mind yielding to him. Like I say, of course, if he was doing all the bad things, then sayonara, dude. You know. Okay. So the last thing is that, like, this is what it says here. Many women express their outrage online, saying they would never degrade themselves for the sake of men. Where, I mean, everything we spoke about, I don't think it has anything to do with degrading yourself. What do you think?
Like I mentioned just now, I don't feel like it's degrading if you full well know what you're doing. Okay. And
Mm-mm-mm.
like, it's only degrading when your ego feels that it's degrading. Like, if you want to talk about degrading, cleaning the poop of your child is degrading. Might as well ask someone else to do it because the poo is so dirty, right? So,
Mm-mm-mm.
and then if you want to talk about degrading, There's so many other things that are really degrading, like your husband pimping you out and you become a prostitute to support a family. Now that is degrading. Now that is
That's
really
degrading, yeah.
and if you are being abused and you allow the abuse to go on, now you are allowing yourself to be degraded. Yeah, so
Yes,
this
that's
is
right.
really being blown out of proportion. Yes, I'm not saying they're wrong. They have every right to feel whatever they're feeling. They have their right to opinion.
Mhm.
But personally, I don't
Right,
feel that it's degrading yourself if you are just playing high EQ and just to make the family environment so much easier for everyone to breathe in.
right, right. Okay. Well, so as usual, it has been very, very interesting and educational talking to you. And it actually, for me, it's like quite therapeutic when I speak to you. To be honest with you, it's like I don't even need to go to a therapist. I can just talk to you, and then I can get all these ideas, and then I can watch the video back later and listen to what you have said. And because you always have very profound things to say. So would you just like to send out some good message to everybody to wrap it up?
Okay, thank you, Celeste. It's always an honor to talk to you, and I always almost never say no to you when you want to talk to me on YouTube. Okay, so to the ladies out there, whatever that you're feeling is okay. Okay, nobody's judging, but when you can quieten down and you spend some time alone, I invite you to please just take a deep breath into your belly. Do you feel anger there? Ask yourself. Or do you feel fear in your belly? And whose voice is it that you hear and you associate that anger to, that fear to? Is it really your fear that man is far superior than you, that you cannot even take the word submit? Okay? And is it really your anger, or is it your mother's anger or your grandma's anger? Okay, that when somebody asks you to dumb it down, you look at it like it's such a very dirty word, and you felt like it's so degrading. So is it something inside of you that is like so triggered? Now that is an opportunity to heal that. Okay, and when you say heal, it's not like there's something wrong with you. It's just like something that is making you very uncomfortable. That's why you have all these very icky emotions, you know. So I invite all of you ladies out there, and even men, okay, to really sit with yourself and reflect. What is it in me that makes me react so like so adversely towards this topic? Yeah, that's all.
Okay, thank you so much, Sue, and have a good day. And until our next discussion, bye
Yes.
bye.
Thank you. Bye.